Pegasus Resources is advancing two uranium projects, both in top-tier jurisdictions. Christian Timmins is president and CEO. Pegasus is ticker PEGA on the venture. Chris, welcome to Kitco.
Hey, it's good to be here. Thanks.
You have two uranium projects, both in North America, Chris.
Yes, we do. We've got one in the Athabasca Basin and we've got one in Utah in the USA. So we've got ourselves covered in North America quite well in two very prolific areas.
What's the work that's been done to date on the Utah project, Chris?
We actually just finished a mapping and sampling program up here in January. We did a 13-day program that covered the whole project area. And we collected some really great samples, very encouraging early stage data coming off this property. We had 7,800 ppm reading for uranium and a couple over ranges as well. So we're very encouraged with these early results here at our Energy Sands project in Utah.
Now, we were talking before, Chris, that you're really focusing the company on Utah. And one of the interesting pieces about the project down there is that there's some significant mining infrastructure being built around the project.
Yeah, Utah's a great state to be in. It's very mining friendly. There's two mills that are currently heading towards being brought back online. And then there's one in Green River that's proposed to be built here in 2026. So we've got three possible mills that are planned to be operating in this area in the near future. So as far as the infrastructure go, it doesn't get much better than that for, uranium deposits and having all that stuff right where you want it and within distance. It's feasible to do a milling agreement with any of these mills that are starting up.
How's the community support, Chris?
Again, Utah is very mining friendly. With lots of ongoing mining in the state as it is already. We're very encouraged that Utah is going to be very friendly for future production and ongoing exploration.
Let's swing up to your other project up in Canada in the well-known area of the Athabasca Basin. That also has some infrastructure advantages for Pegasus.
Yeah, the advantage for us up there at Pine Channel is that we can get in there and do the work without helicopter support. It's got some summertime access is good. And then in the wintertime, we can use the existing ice roads up in the area. So getting onto the property is really straightforward as far as that goes. And a little cheaper to operate when you're not needing the helicopters to come in and get your crews in and out every day.
Bring us up to date on the work done on Pine Channel.
Actually, Pine Channel's got a fair bit of historical work done to it. Denison Mines actually drilled this thing back in the 1979, 1980. There was 12 drill holes that were actually drilled onto the property. 7 of them showed anomalous uranium with a highest grade of 0.15% uranium. So very encouraging early drilling on the project. And we look forward to getting in there and building off that drilling that Denison did and seeing if we can find a resource up there.
Who's on the team at Pegasus, Chris?
We got a great team, actually. We've just had 2 new additions here last month. So we've got Jody Daru, who is a DG Consulting. They're a great geology firm here in Canada and the USA, and they do our work for us as well. And then we've got Derek Strickland and Mike Magrum, also 2 very solid gentlemen, both past directors of PDAC. Derek's been a part of the AME, which is the BC Minerals Prospectors Association. And Derek also was part of Mike was part of the Northwest Territories Chamber of Mines. So we've really got a very strong advisory board and board of directors here. And we hope to leverage them to make some really good decisions here going forward.
Are you funded?
We have some money in the till. So we're funded for what we're trying to do right now. If we want to start getting into some drilling, we'll probably have to go back to the market and try and fund that. Though we do have an option to exercise a bunch of warrants. We do have warrants that are in the money. And as that comes in, we could really theoretically not raise too much money here. So we're hoping that the market conditions continue to get improved. And as that happens, we can get some of this warrant money in and really try to reduce our dilution going forward. We have a really good opportunity here with these warrants to raise some money and not add to dilution. So we're hoping that's kind of where the market leads things for us. And in that event, we'll have to do a small raise, but it won't be very substantial, assuming, of course, we can get some of this warrant money in. which we think is a great, great thing for the company. It's always good to try to use the shares you have to generate revenue over going out into the market and adding more dilution to the company.
Why do you think uranium is a metal to focus on, Chris?
I love uranium. Energy is a problem. Whether it's oil, whether it's solar, whatever the case, we're lacking energy in the world. So, in my opinion, the real cure for this energy problem is more nuclear. And of course, with more nuclear means we need more uranium. So, we already see like places like the UK and United States talking about tripling production of nuclear energy. Other places are starting to talk about adding more nuclear energy. And then we've got small modular reactors coming into the market, and they're really gaining adoption at a surprising rate. So, in my opinion, we're going to see the demand for uranium just increase over the next 5 to 10 years. And we're going to need to find more sources of the uranium. And that's what we're here doing. We're going to go out and explore and hopefully find the next fuel needed to, keep these reactors running.
Speaking of energy transition and requiring more energy, Pegasus also has a copper project in British Columbia.
We've got a copper gold project, yep, and a little bit of base metals. It's not a main focus of ours. We did do a small program over the summer there, and that kept the property in good standing. So if we don't get onto the property this year, that's fine. But it's a great project. We think there's something there, whether it be gold or copper, we're not sure yet. But so far, it looks very encouraging. So we're going to keep this project inside the company. And at some point in the future, we're going to create some value for all shareholders with this project.
Lastly, what are some potential stock catalysts over the next 12 months, Chris?
Very near term, we've got our results coming back from SGS Labs there in Utah. So we're expecting those assays back sometime end of February, middle of March, in that window somewhere. And then, of course, we're going to compile that data and put out a report on it. So we'll get that data in and let the markets know what we're seeing there. And if it comes back as favorable as we think it's going to, we're going to apply for a drill permit. And then once we get that drill permit in hand, we want to go in and drill this energy sands project in Utah and see what's really there. And hopefully we got an economical deposit on our hands.
Chris, thanks for your time.
Thank you. See you next time.
My name is Michael McRae, and you're watching Kitco Mining.